Hello and welcome to the Cozy Meadow Knits podcast. I am Sophie and this is
Nancy.
This is Nancy from the knitsiphappy podcast. So this is my podcast where I share all of the knits. I'm an obsessed knitter. Nancy is as well. All our current projects, our finished objects, and some dream knitting and acquisitions and everything yarn.
Yes.
Everything yarn.
We've already been doing this for about an hour. We've recorded an episode on my channel. So you'll be able to find some different content over there, some shared projects and more details on my things. And then Sophie's going to do all of her stuff. So now I get to sit and look at all the yarny goodness.
And now I have to talk a lot. So we're so lucky to be living 10 minutes from each other, like on the same road. What is this? That's like, what a coincidence. And we've been, well, Nancy said it first and she's like, we should podcast together. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly what we're gonna do someday. And then she took over and she's like, you're gonna come home here and blah blah blah. And I'm like, yes,
it's what I do. I'm the bossy older sister.
And I'm okay with that because I'm not a good leader or anything. You tell me what to do and I will do it.
But this part's fun because I'm just along for the ride now.
Yes. And it was fun. So we recorded on Nancy just an hour before this.
Yep.
And so I shared a few whips and a finished object. Did I? No. Yes, it was her. Yes, that's right.
Our Bobsy twins matching sweaters. We both have finished OBECTS sweaters.
Yes.
So on my channel, I did a little tour and stand up and show of mine, and Sophie's going to do that for hers in a minute.
Yeah, and so Nancy shared her whips, and she's going to share a few other whips and stuff on this podcast. So I hope you are cozy. I hope you have your knitting, and I hope you have your beverage. I am drinking some coffee because I need it to be caffeinated.
And I'm drinking wine because I like to be relaxed.
And let's get into it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, let's start with the wonderful finished objects. These are our OBECTS sweater by Rachel Illsley or Illsley.
We're not sure. Unwind Knitwear.
Yes. Absolutely fabulous designer. So I finished my OBECTS a little, maybe a couple weeks ago. It had been a lingering whip, just like Nancy's. I think we cast it on like the same month because I checked on Ravelry and I think it was in April for mine as well.
Yeah.
So it's been on since last April. It was a lovely knit, but other things kept coming up and other knits, so it kind of got shoved away for a little bit. But then I'm like, no, we need to finish these. We need to finish these. I need to.
So as soon as Sophie finished hers or started working on hers again, I'm like, I've got to get mine out. And that's when we thought about doing the shared podcast. We thought, wouldn't it be fun to be able to sitting side by side in our matching but not matching sweaters? So here we are.
Okay, so are we gonna stand up and show them all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna just pause a second and move the camera back so we can hold, please.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so this is my OBECTS sweater.
So good.
I love it so much. I love it so much. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So
we're obsessed in love.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just such a gorgeous color work. It's just so effective.
I know. And so, first of all, the yarn that I used for this is, I remember the purple color is a Leo and Roxy. It's on the MCS base, but I don't remember the color, but everything for my projects will be linked down below. I have Ravelry projects as well, and you can find all that information in there. For the main color, this is Cascade. Is it Cascade?
Was it the Evolve?
No, it's
the recycled.
Yes, Refine. It was Refine. Yes. And I think it's called Doeskin. I think that's the name of the color.
Really pretty neutral.
Again, yes.
Yeah.
And it's actually nice yarn. Like, it's not super crazy soft, but it's not prickly either, and it's actually really warm for it to be a fingering weight, and there's a lot of yardage, so it's very well priced anyways. Yeah, you get a lot of bang for your buck.
Yes, I've been at La Violette a few times looking at the different colors thinking, ooh,
I know.
Haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I'm sure I will.
Okay, so I'm gonna finish because all you see is my chest. So so this is the back. I don't know if you need to see the back, but the color work goes all around and it goes down on the arms. Now, I am a very tight knitter. At first, it fits really, really well. Yeah. I blocked the crap out of this. Like, I really thought it was going to be too tight because I gained a little bit of weight.
Same.
And, okay.
Yeah, same.
And that's the bottom. I'm very short. Okay. I'm going to sit down now. Do we do the camera again?
Yeah, we'll just lift it back up again.
Okay,
move it.
I'm going to sit down.
And we're back.
Okay, so I showed off a lot of mine. Nancy is showing off hers in her podcast. But as you can see, it's super lovely. I love the colors that you chose. Yeah. So gorgeous.
Yeah.
And so, I didn't do modifications too much. Followed the pattern. Needle size, I had to go up. That information is all on my Ravelry page, but I had to go up, and then I went up again in the color work, and there's even like, I don't know if you can see, but it doesn't bother me too much, but the sleeve is a little bit tight where the color work is. Yeah. This was the first time that we both were going to be doing color work on the sleeve, that it goes down on the sleeve. Picking up, we've talked about this on...
It bears repeating.
Yeah, it bears repeating. Picking up the sleeve and knitting it was a little bit challenging. I don't know why. It's not the pattern. It's just, I know it was a Friday night when I was trying to figure out where to start again, where you are in the chart, which row that you left off. Yeah. So if you do this, some good, maybe a good practice would be like when you do separate for the sleeve, maybe mark down where you are somewhere in which row. I don't know, maybe that would help.
It does say for which size, to which row and stuff, but again, it's picking up in color work, which it just isn't. It's not something I've ever done before, and it's not something I think that's overly common to have this lower. A lot of times what designers do to have a lower color work yoke is they bring the armpit down to your boob, which isn't, I don't find that flattering. I'm not a swan show fan. I like my armpit to be a little closer to my actual underarm. So, I mean, it is low. My actual armpit is up in here, but it's still totally functional, wearable. I'd be able to lift something up and not show everybody my bra, which some of those swan shows, they're super, Yeah, so
that's true.
That was the big challenging part. So I had messaged Sophie when I was doing my pickup going, did you have a problem with this? I'm just not getting this. And I think the best advice we can give you is just get out of your own head and follow the instructions, because the instructions are fine. Yes. I was overthinking it and trying to...
As soon as you started in the chart, and then you're like, okay, this is where I'm at. Yeah. This is where I have to be, or what. I don't know. Yeah. And the other thing too, like, this is the armpit. Yeah. No one is going to see your armpit
if it's not a perfect pickup.
I think I fudged it a little bit. And then as soon as I knit a little bit more, and I'm like, oh, this is where I'm at, and then it just goes.
It's funny. The first one I think I fudged, but the second one went like that. So I don't know. Again, it was a me thing. It wasn't a pattern thing. It was a me thing.
Yeah, and you did it great. She did like both sleeves like back to back, and I did one sleeve, and I'm like, oh, I'll remember this. And no, I didn't remember. So it took me a little bit, because I did the second sleeve like maybe a month after, or a couple months. Anyway,
the lies we tell ourselves.
I know. I know. But it's all good. I love it.
Yeah.
Thrilled. Yes. The only thing that I would have made, and this is all personal preference, I should have did a bracelet length sleeve because I'm always pulling up my sleeves. Yeah. So that's for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a longer sleeve. I did quite a narrow wrist, so if I want to, I can pull, and a loose cast off, so if I want to, I can pull mine up.
Yeah.
But I tend to, when I'm not having a hot flash, I'm running cold, so I do like a longer for a winter garment. So
yeah. So that's all preference, and these are our orbits.
Yay. Oh, make sure we get our screenshot.
Oh yeah.
Admin note.
Okay, after.
After. We need a picture.
We are so professional. Okay.
All right.
So that was first finished object. I have a half finished object to talk about. I did a lot of knitting between my last episode, but and you'll see after in my whips what I was making. But okay, so I made a sock. This is Jessie's sock. Hi, Jessie. Jesse is a coworker that I work with. He is my adoptive work son because I am much older than him, and he sits right beside me and we chat, and he's super knit worthy.
He gifted you those lovely books, didn't he?
He did. He gifted me 3 Lane magazine, Anna Johanna. Anyways,
yeah,
3 beautiful books for Christmas.
Lovely.
And so I said I was going to knit him some socks, and I knit one of them.
Do you want a blocker? Are you good?
Yeah, no, sure. I forgot that. So he is a total gamer.
Might be too small, but
no, that's fine. Yeah. I will put
so is that a theme? Like a...
Oh, yes, it is. It is. It's, see, I thought that everybody would know, but...
Here, let's try. That's my small one. Sorry.
Oh.
Let's try a bigger one.
That's fine. So, he's a total
bossy
video gamer. Thank you, Nancy.
Bossy.
He's a total video gamer, and these are Zelda themed socks. So I had this in I had the yellow in stash, and the green I bought at La Violette. It is Ancient Arts fiber. And that was the green, and it was perfect because I knew it was the perfect green for this game. So this game is like, you're a little bonhomme there, you're a little guy, and your name is Link, and you have a sword, and you have like your tunic and stuff is always green.
Okay.
And these are things that you have to collect. They're called Triforces.
So is this a pattern you found online?
Yes and no. It's a mismatch of patterns.
Okay.
I found this on a sock pattern. It was a free sock pattern. It had this, but it was upside down, and it had some on the toes, and I'm like, okay, that's not what I want to do. So I just took the chart. Yes, I just took the chart. Thank you, Nancy.
It's nice doing this with somebody else. When you have a brain fart, somebody can fill in the words.
So many brain farts. So I found the chart for this, turned it upside down or whatever, and then so you've got little Triforces here, and I think I did 10 rounds. No, that's more than 10, maybe 15 rounds. 2 rounds of the yellow color, and then
that's fun.
2. Yeah. So that was that, and then I'm like, I'm gonna put the slip stitch heel in yellow, and then there's this part, this lovely color work. I'm not the greatest at color work. This I've done one other sock that has like actual color work.
Yeah.
And I think I know why this happened.
It's challenging trying to keep your tension, and it's
very
challenging.
challenging.
Yeah.
So this is the emblem of the game too. Anyway, so I found a chart for this, but I didn't like it. I had to like make it fit to like what is it with the 72, 36?
Yeah.
This 36 stitches.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I added a few stitches. So it's kind of like a mismatch. But it
looks great.
I know. I love it.
It looks awesome on camera too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really showing up nicely.
Yeah. So I made these socks for him because I wanted him to be able to like downstairs in his basement. He has his old game room and he can have his socks and then he can see like the Zelda emblem and whatever. Anyways, he really did like them, and I only made him one because I wanted him to try it on.
Did he try it on?
Yes, he did. And
good?
It fits.
Oh, good.
It fits. It's a bit big though, not lengthwise, but I think this yarn is it's kind of like a heavy fingering.
Okay.
So I think I could have gone down, like I did a 72 stitch, but I think I could have gone down a couple. But anyway, it's fine.
For a cozy gaming downstairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is this stuff going on. I did the color work. It's not intarsia. I carried the color all around, and because I'm a tight knitter, I wanted to make sure that the color work wasn't too tight, so I did it really loosely, and I think that's why this really bled out a lot. But anyway, I'm gonna do the second one now that I know that this one is good, and we'll see. I'll just see. But he was really happy.
You're not going to see that when you're wearing it.
No, and I'm like, give me back the sock now. I have to show it off, and I need to
do one exactly the same.
Exactly. So it's coming, Jessie, soon. So that was my other finished object. And now on to whips. Would you like to share a whip, Nancy?
Sure. I had a new cast on. Have you knit a Musselburgh hat yet?
No.
I feel like I'm the only person in the knitting world who has not knit one.
I know. Well, now I am, because I haven't. But I really want to, but I haven't yet.
Hats for me are tricky. Not many people in my family wear hats, and my son is a big hat wearer, but he's like, Mom, I have two. I don't need any more.
I know.
Boys.
We're knitters. We need to knit.
So, Isolde Teague had a sale on a couple of weeks ago, so I picked up her Musselburgh hat when it was on sale, because why not? And I was looking for, again, my last episode was I don't knit vanilla unless I do. I mean, I don't tend to like vanilla things, but there's a time and a place. So I came into my yarn room yesterday with the thought that I wanted to cast on a Musselburgh, but I didn't want to wind up any yarn. I was on a time crunch. Okay. I knew that I wanted to make one, so I dug this pre-wound gradient out of my stash. This is deep, dark, old yarn indulgences. Deborah had this in a bin of stuff that she had nothing that she wanted to do with, and told me to take whatever I wanted. So I love it. She knit it as a sock blank, but then unraveled it and caked it up.
Okay.
So I've cast on a Musselburgh hat, and I've just got it into the round. So I did a pinhole cast on. Thank you, Very Pink Knits on YouTube. Good. It wasn't too bad. I've done the Emily Ocker circular cast on before. It's basically like a crochet cast on where you can you're forming your stitches around the tail thread, and then you can pull the tail thread to tighten up to close up your hole. Okay. So I do still have a little hole there, you can kind of see. So, but there's an end that has to be woven in there, so I can weave that in. So there's just a little hole there. And then if you're one of the few people in the world who haven't actually knit this hat, you just kind of pick a needle that you think will work with your yarn. So I picked a 3mm. I actually looked at Heather from the Wheelhouse Knits podcast. She has just knit a Musselburgh hat. So I looked at what she had done, and I think she did a 3mm. 275, 3mm. I decided to do a 3mm. I knit my socks in a 2.25 for the most part, but obviously you don't want a sock gauge in the hat because it would squeeze your brain out. So you do all the increases, and then you measure your gauge at a certain point to see where you're at, and then that will tell you how many more increases that you need to do. You need to just get an inch of straight stockinette to measure your gauge.
See, this is why I'm not casting on Musselburgh. And it's not hard. It's just I'll have to think about that stuff first. But once you do that, then it's like
you're thinking for the first hour, and then it's going to be acres and miles of stockinette.
Yes.
So this is not going to be a quick project. It's probably going to go into my Christmas gift pile. I'm pretty sure I already know who it's for. I've cast on the adult large. Yeah, muscle burr hat. Just in the round, so it's round and round, and I'm working on a 3mm needle. I'm working on my ChowGoo interchangeables, the mini twists.
Okay,
so
I don't have the red ones.
I wouldn't buy them.
That's the only one that I'm saving up for, because I have the yellow, I have the blue.
Right, and if you can feel the cable. So where the blue cable, and I'm assuming the one for the yellow, it's rigid. It's like the regular ChowGoo needles, right? Okay. These are they're like the mini twist sock needles. I find that because the cable is floppy and pliable, I find it difficult to work with. The way I tension my yarn and hold my needle, it just disappears. There's nothing to hold on to, because the needle isn't giving me any structure.
Right.
On the blue ChowGoo mini small circumference needles, it's a rigid cable, so it's giving you structure. It's got somewhere for your hand to rest on. This one is floppy. It doesn't have that.
Okay.
I looked for another 3mm needle in my stash, a fixed circular. I don't have one. And let me rephrase. I have a 12-inch circumference.
Okay.
I may be putting this down to a 12-inch circumference and just making sure I put my stitch stoppers on the end, because I don't think I can knit this whole hat in this red ChowGoo small circ. I bought this from a D-stash from somebody, super cheap, because she didn't like them.
Really?
And I don't know. Yeah, I'm only going to keep them because they're handy to get me as a transition. But to knit a whole project on this, no. I would do a neckband on it.
Okay.
I would do a cuff on it.
Right.
I will not knit a whole project on this, so it's going to have to come off this. I'm either going to have to go buy a 3mm fixed circ and a 16-inch, or I'm going to have to switch it to the 12-inch.
Interesting.
My opinions, if you're interested.
Yeah, because that's the one that I'm totally saving up for, and I was gonna buy it because I use them all the time.
Exactly. And honestly, once I take that off, you can borrow them. You can have a loaner of that for a couple months and try it and see how it works for you before you invest the money on a new set.
Okay.
I would recommend that if you know somebody who has a set, to try them first, because they are a completely different knitting experience compared to the bigger ones.
And they're really expensive.
Yeah.
If you're gonna use them, they're totally worth it.
Right.
But exactly.
I'm glad I got, I got mine on a D-stash, and they were super discounted because the knitter I got them from wasn't happy with them either. So, I'm probably, like I said, they're good transitional, but you should try them. I'll make sure that's off the needles. I'll bring it to knit night, and then you can take them for a test drive and see what you think.
Yeah, I totally appreciate that.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
Good to know.
Yeah,
before you invest the money.
Yes.
So, muscle burr hat in progress.
Okay, so that's. I love that yarn. I love all of those colors. They're delicious. And I need to make a muscle burrow hat too. Yeah. Someday.
Yeah. I like the double thickness aspect of it. It's just, so if you're not familiar, you do the cast on, you knit all the way down the hat, and then you do the bind off, and then you shove one end into the other, and you make a super thick, so double thickness hat, and then you cuff it, and then so you've got 4 layers of yarn over your ears. Yeah. Lovely.
And they all say that it fits. It's such a great fitting hat. So
and just plain stockinette. So, yeah.
Okay.
What you got next?
What do I can take that. You can have that. I have. This is what I've been knitting.
Scrumptious.
On. This is what I've been knitting on. So, on the last episode, I talked that I was going to pick up a lingering whip, and it was called the Little Twigs sweater.
Oh yes, we were talking about this. Yes.
So I did. Right after I podcasted last time, I sat down and I'm like, I'm going to start and knit on this again. I had half of the body. I showed it on the last episode anyway. So I was pretty much at the point where I would attach the sleeves to the body, because it's a bottom-up construction. That's the first time I was doing that. This is the first time that I was going to attach the sleeves. That's really special. It's special.
Yeah.
But I did it, and I'm pretty sure, 98% sure, that the sweater's too big. Whoopsie. So I was this, because I kept holding it up and I'm like, this is huge. This is really big. And then I checked the size that I was making, and the pattern calls for 3 to 4, maybe 4 inches of positive ease, and I have 7 inches of positive ease, which in different sweaters it doesn't really matter. It's just but on this design, the way it is, it's a yoke, and if it's way too big, it's not gonna. It's not a big comfy sweater.
Yeah, I was hoping that you were going to say, "Oh, it's going to be perfect for a big comfy sweater."
It's going to look weird, and that's where, because I don't mind stuff that is oversized, but it's going to look weird. So I have no idea why I picked the size that I picked. I don't know. I think it's because I've done another project of that designer. And I picked the size 4 or whichever size, and it was the same, but it's not the same yarn. The other sweater that I made was the Tender, which I love that sweater.
Yeah.
That was a DK, and the Little Twigs is worsted. Maybe that's why that happened. I have no idea. Anyways, so I was like, oh my God. And I just chucked it in. I'm going to unravel it. I'm going to start over. It's a lovely, lovely sweater.
Oh, you're going to do the same sweater over?
I think so, but later. I need to repurpose the yarn, and I really like the sweater. So anyway, I'll see if I can salvage the sleeves, because I checked the differences is by 2 stitches on the cast on for the sleeves, so I don't, and the sleeves actually fit really well, so that would be okay. Anyway,
and then you've got your gauge there as well, so you're knitting, you're happy with your gauge, you're happy with the fabric.
And I am bang on the gauge, which I can't believe I am, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so I was
tale of woe.
Yes, I was a little bit discouraged, but I had like so many other things to cast on anyway, so it was okay. I'll get back to it someday. I just had other things that I wanted to knit. Then I was chatting with Marie from Old Knits.
Hi, Marie.
Hi, Marie. So she has a podcast, and we are friends, and we talk a lot on Instagram, and she was knitting the Lento sweater.
Everybody's knitting the Lento sweater.
Yes.
That's another one I haven't.
I know. And I'm not usually one to jump on the bandwagon like right away. I'm usually very late to it. It's the procrastinating, isn't it?
Hence my muscle hat.
Yeah, well, I haven't done it yet. So yeah, but I was like, okay, a Lento, and I actually had favored that. I'm like, someday I will make one. And then she's like, Sophie, it's like the same thing as the Love Note, because it's a big gauge. It knits up super quick, and she's like, it's the same thing as, well, it's not the same thing as a Love Note, but it makes you think when you're knitting on it. But it's only stockinette stitch. You don't have the lace pattern. And I'm like, okay. And that was right after I had like figured out that I wasn't going to do the Little Twigs. So, and I'm like, okay,
palette cleanser.
Yes. And I'm like, I think I even have yarn for this in my stash. What?
That's a big win.
I know. And then I got all excited, and so this is my Lento sweater.
That color is going to be so good.
I know.
Awesome.
I know. It's amazing. So I'll just show it off a little bit. It has a rolled collar, which I've never done that before. Have you done that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's I've seen, this is the first time I was doing it, and I've seen different there's different ways to do it too. And this was super well written. It was super easy to do.
Did you have to YouTube anything, or were you able to do it just out of the pattern? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but if I did, it was, I don't even think I did.
Okay.
I don't even think, it was like super easy. So it's a top down raglan construction. So you have your raglan increases here. So once you've done and do the thing here, you attach it, and then you continue on knitting the body, and then you have the sleeves. I finished one sleeve like so, and I am just like I could finish it today. Yeah. So yeah. I was like powering on and trying to get it finished, and then last night I was alone with the kids, and we played a game and stuff, and I'm like, you know what, it's okay. I didn't have to have it's not a race. No. It's not a race. No. So anyway, the yarn. Oh, I love it so much.
I mean, with your color hair, like I'm just looking at you holding it up, that's gonna look stunning on you.
It's light though, like it's still, I love this tone of color. Yeah. But too light doesn't go well on me. But anyways, it's just delicious. Okay, so I have these. This takes no yarn.
I know. There's something about holding mohair and fingering together at a 16 stitch gauge, and it's just miraculous how little yarn it uses. Yes. Ranunculus is the same. Exactly. Love Note is the same. The Felix that I just did, I did it in an Aran weight yarn, but you get the same vibe, and yeah.
So it was super quick to knit. It's only been like a couple of weeks, and so I think last summer, Julianne Knitter from Twin Stitches Design, she had some yarn that she was selling. Do you have the same?
Circus Tonic handmade from Australia, which we never see in our part of the country to actually see it live. Yeah. So I have 4 skeins of this in Moonshell. Oh.
What? Oh,
I know.
This is my color
and
too.
And conch is what Sophie's using. Like I said, we never, to see this yarn in person was just awesome, right?
I know. And so she was having a sale. Yep. People with their sales. Anyway, so I bought 3 skeins of this. Yeah, so I only used 2. Okay, so so 1 skein of it is 454 yards. It's on the Jubilee sock, and it's 75% superwash and 25% nylon.
100% gorgeous.
Oh, and it's so good.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Really nice.
Just so good. Anyway, so I had 3. I'm like, I'm perfect. I only used 1.5. Like, I'm done. I'm done this, and I still have like this much on the second one. I'm like, how is that even possible? So anyway, so yay, I have 1 left over.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I'm going to do, but I will do something with it. And then I held it with a strand of Tin Silk Mohair by Senes Garn. Oh, I don't know if, I'm sorry if this is backwards.
No, I'm pretty sure it flips.
I hope so. Side. This is a newer phone, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, Manon from La Violette in Bucktouche carries the Sadness line, and I love that Sadness mohair. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. So this is where I got that at La Violette Yarn Gift & Co. And the color is numbers 3553. And I have a project page. Everything is in there, so you can check that out. But held together, amazing,
gorgeous,
amazing. Yeah. So. I made size 3, and it fits really well. I hope it's not snug, but I'm thinking it's going to stretch a little bit with blocking. Yeah. So which is great. It's perfect. Yeah. And the only modification, I didn't do any modifications to it. I think it asks for a 6.0 millimeter needle, and I'm using 6.5, and I got gauge with that ish. I think I was off still by a stitch, but I'm like, I'm not going any bigger.
No, the fabric looks really nice.
Yeah, and so I did. Oh, the only other thing was, I think it asked, I'm not going to say how many rows, but I did less rows than what it asked for. I think I did 10 rows of 1x1 rib, and for the bind off, I did the tubular bind off.
The sewn bind off?
Yeah.
I love doing that.
I don't. I don't mind it. It's very, very slow.
Doing it with mohair and is with a yarn with mohair. I mean, I love the finished look of it, and I actually don't mind the process. I find it quite rhythmic because you're using a darning needle, and basically you're doing Kitchener stitch.
Yes.
with a darning needle through the hem of your sweater or the cuff or whatever. It gives it a really nice kind of rolled finished edge. Yeah. But it does take a while. It
takes a long time. Yeah. So I don't do it on all of my garments. Yeah. But it depends on what garment. Yeah. It just depends.
Yeah, I didn't do it on this because it's twisted rib. And I didn't know how the tubular would work on the twisted rib. I have no idea either. And I didn't feel like messing around with however many hundreds of stitches I had on the bottom of the hem. Yeah. So I just did my regular cast off in pattern on this. But
and I think I did the same. This is just regular. Yeah. So it just depends on my mood and what, I don't know, the look of it. This looked very polished too.
Agreed. So with the rolled cuff, I find it really
So and I won't do this all the time. Like, you don't have to do a rolled cuff. I think for this you could definitely go with a 1x1 rib. Yeah. But I had never done it, and on this sweater I thought it was nice. So
I agreed.
And it fits well. It's not too bulky. That's my concern, was that it might be too bulky. Right. And depending on the yarn weight, like a bigger yarn, I don't know if I do a roll collar, just because I don't know if I would like it on me. So anyway. Yeah. Anyway, so this is my
pretty.
Lento. Creabea, Rebecca from the Creabea podcast, and Amy Palko
from the Meaningful Stitch.
They are hosting a knit along for the Lento, and it's called Let's Lento. Yeah. So I was lentoing.
And then Casey's doing the bougie sweatshirt as well.
Yes, and I think that
from YoungFolk Knits. Yes, and that's bougie. Yes, that's bougie.
It's very bougie. It's very bougie. Casey is very bougie. She's awesome. So that was my other whip. Do you have any more whips?
I do. I have a garment as well.
Oh yeah.
So I had cast on last time my Laia reknit. This is an Isabell Kraemer. So I have repurposed the yarn that I used. So it'll be linked below. It's an Isabell Kraemer design. It's a lace yoke. I had test knit this pattern in a size that was too big for me back in the day, and then I lost weight, and then it was really too big, and I wanted to reknit it because I really wanted the garment. So it is. You kind of see it's going to need a good block to kind of pull that lace yoke out, but it's just it's round yoke construction with the increases built into the lace. It's just this little short lace panel, and then into the stockinette. So what I like to do is once I finish this ball of wool, I'm going to, this is combined actually, this is using Holst Coast and Holst Titicaca in two colors, which I can't remember the name of. They'll be linked to my project page. They're held together, and when I frogged this first sweater, I just left them held together just to make it easier to knit. Yeah. I didn't bother rescanning and soaking. I couldn't be bothered, quite frankly. It didn't change my gauge that much. So once I finish this ball, I'll put the body on hold, and I'll pick up my sleeves and do my sleeves. That way it makes it easier for me to do my try on and see where I'm happy with. What I also do with all of my sweaters, if you don't follow me, I am a pear shape. I have a bigger hip and rear end, so I always put stitch markers in the center of the sleeve when I pick up the body.
Yes.
Always.
Yes. Yeah. And so, I need to do this too.
I don't know if I'm going to do, I like my garments to be A-line because I look like this. So I like my garments to also follow that shape. So what I'll do is I'll put those stitch markers in on either side, and then I'll do a make one left and a make one right on either side of that stitch marker, and I'll do them about an inch apart all the way down the body. Once I get past the widest part of my bust, when I get into my underbust, is the smallest part of me. I got 3 or 4 inches. That's the smallest part of me there. And then I do these increases.
And then you do the increases.
And then I do the increases.
I need to do that. Yeah. I know you talk about that all the time, and I need to try to do that as well, because I got the hips and I got the derriere. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you on the Richard side. I was a Richard before.
Yeah, for me, it's Grover, the Grover side for me. Yep. And it was my granny, who I got the childbearing hips from, who had the gall to say to me when I was 13 that I had childbearing hips. Isn't that just what you want to hear at age 13, ladies? Yes. So I probably will be doing increases. I haven't started them yet. Whether I know I'm going to or not, I always put those stitch markers in just so when I start trying it on, I can see if I'm going to need the extra space for my butt. And it depends if I'm cropping it or if it's going to be a little longer. If it's cropped, I don't need to do those increases. Yeah. But if it's not cropped, if it's more kind of a hip length, then I'm going to need to do that. The other thing I like to do with these yoked sweaters, and this is a tip I think I got from Selma from Little Big Knits, is taking stitches from the back of the sweater and moving them to the front. So with a yoked sweater, when you're looking at us, the boobs are at the front and then you've got a flat back, right? So you've got a bigger front than you've got a back. So if you took your cross back measurement and for your cross front measurements, they're going to be a few inches in the difference. Definitely. When we do a yoked sweater, having equal number of stitches on the back and the front sometimes causes this to happen, like it's shifting up, it's moving. I couldn't do it on this one because of the color work. But on all of my yoke sweaters, either color work or lace yoke, what I now do, thank you Selma, is I take anywhere from 5 to 10 stitches from the back on each side and I move them to the front. So effectively you're moving your sleeves back. Okay. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if you move your sleeves back, you're making more room for the boobs in the front and less room at the back, because sometimes with yoke sweaters you can get a rippling across your back on a yoke. Yeah. It's too much fabric. You don't have enough body back there to fill out the fabric.
It makes total sense.
So I think with this I did 8 stitches on each side. So I've moved the sleeves back 8 stitches on each side. So that should, and including the short rows that, like I said, Isabell Kraemer always does short rows. She does great designs, but for my shaped body, it's just slight modifications that you can make, that you kind of pick up through watching podcasts and learning from other knitters, that you can tweak your fit to be better for you. So that's what I've done here. I've moved the sleeves forward and I'm prepared to do my A-line shaping if I need to.
That's awesome. And that's the beauty of making your own garments. You can make them on to fit you.
Yes.
That's amazing. I've never heard that before, and I'll have to watch that episode because
it's just
that makes total sense.
It's just a little thing that is easy to do but makes a huge difference. Yeah. Because when you think of it, if you're standing and looking at your side and profile, you know, there's more happening here. Absolutely. So that's the garment I have on the needles right now. I'm excited to have it back. I really like this purple.
I was just going to say that color is amazing.
This royal purple.
I love it.
As the hair color changes, I find the colors I can wear have changed.
I love the jewel, like the dark jewel tones.
Yeah. So this will probably be done by the time it's warm enough for me not to wear it yet until the fall, but that's okay. But that leads us on to the summer dreaming knitting that's coming soon.
Yes.
So yeah, that's my Laia, Isabell Kraemer.
It's lovely. Lovely.
Thank you. That's it for me for whips. So you're up.
Okay, let's check. I think the only other whip that I have is a little tiny whip. Because I just started it this morning.
Still counts.
Like I was like, I need to knit. I need to have my whip done. Like I need to have something to show. Okay, so I will start by saying that me and Manon from La Violette Yarn Gift & Co. We are hosting a knit along, and it is for a summer garment. Yeah. Summer is coming. Yeah. And yay. Yeah. I love winter, but now when we're in March and we're getting like the sunlight a little bit more, and I'm like already daydreaming of the patio at the camper and the
I saw this on Instagram. I'm like, I am so in.
Yeah, and this is now is the time to start the summer garments, because we want to wear the summer garments in the summer. Yeah. So last year, we hosted a knit along. It was the same thing. It was for a summer garment, and I got two T-shirts out of it, and I wore them to death.
Yeah, I think I got 2 done as well.
Yeah. And I want all the summer garments.
I love summer knits. I love wearing summer t-shirts.
Yeah, and I do too. And where I work at the office, at the office that I work at, anyways, it's cold. It's cold for me. I'm always cold. Like right now, it's cold in here. It's actually, I thought I was gonna like overheat, and it's not. Well, it's not cold. I'm not uncomfortable.
No. If you have seen me in previous episodes, you know I tend to overheat in this room with the door closed. I have plugged the heating vent with a whole bunch of cushions. I've just shoved cushions down over the heating vent so we don't overheat, because my husband is in and out outside there, and he's stressed about us hearing, but it's all good. So it's a little cool, so we can do this and not be like bright red.
I know. So. And I'm always cold, and at work it's air conditioned. So I love having, even if it's not in cotton or linen or anything or very airy, like just a t-shirt, like I'm still warm enough. So anyway, I want all the summer knits, and the hashtag, I will put the hashtag here. I think it's called Cozy LV. No, I don't know. No, it's okay. I'll put it here.
I'm not using my phone.
Okay. Well, she's going to look that up. And at the same time, my first cast on for the knit along, I am making the olive branch tee by Julianne Knitter, and she's Twin Stitches Design. I will have her link down below, and my project page also will be linked.
Hashtag Cozy LV Mal.
I was close.
You were.
Yeah. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. Okay. So for the mal, it's a mal. So you can crochet, you can knit. So that's the make along, and I am making the olive branch tee, and this is
it's a start.
This is the start of it. It's a top down construction. It's a t-shirt. I'll put in a picture here. Yep. To show what it looks like. It's amazing.
It's a round yoke, so you can move your sleeves up.
Okay, I'll have to. When I get there, you're gonna help me. Yeah. So I should do that. I should try it there. Yeah. It makes total sense. Yeah. So last year for the other knit along or mal, I made a t-shirt. It's called the Everyday Tee by Julianne Knitter. I loved that t-shirt. I still love it. I wore it.
Is that the one you did in black?
Yes. Oh, it's my black t-shirt.
Middle-aged eyes can't knit in black.
Well, it's just it's so wearable.
Yeah.
I loved it, and I still love it. And so when she came out with this pattern, I think it was last summer too. So I grabbed it. I've had it in my library for a while, and this is what I have. To start with, it is not much. It's just the beginning. So I cast it on. I am making size 4. I did a gauge swatch. It was like this big. This morning, this big, and I'm like, I'm bang on. So I am using the recommended needle size, and which is odd because I'm usually not on gauge with the recommended needle size, but I'm using this yarn. It is called Sisu, and it is by Sendness Garn, and it is a fingering weight, but it's a
plump.
Yes, it's a very plump fingering, and I think that's why I'm on gauge.
Yeah, I've used it for heels and toes before with regular fingering weight, and thought, ooh, that's a little, because at a 2.25 millimeter gauge needle, it was quite a tight gauge, which isn't a bad thing for a heel and a sock, but I digress.
And I think, oh crap.
What?
Did I cast it? I don't know. I think I cast it on the bigger needles.
On the bigger needles?
I think so. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll probably redo it. I don't know. I don't remember.
What size are you supposed to be on?
I think it's 4.5, and I'm pretty sure those are the 4.5, right?
Yep.
Oops.
Hand it in needle gauge.
So professional. Oh my goodness!
But it's not a lot of rib. Seems to.
No, it's only something.
Yeah, it's a small amount of ribbing. So
I don't think it's gonna make a difference.
You know what? You could switch now and go to the smaller needles if you wanted.
Yeah, because I did 2 rounds.
Yeah.
I did 2 rounds. I could do that. I'm sure it would be even fine if I would leave it like this.
Yeah. Because it is a closer fitting neckline.
So me. You get so excited, or you get like, I need to do it.
Yes.
And then total brain fart.
Yeah, I'm famous for not switching needles. I will start on the right one, and then I will forget to switch. I'll get in the groove, and I just keep on going.
Yeah.
And then kind of look at it, going, that doesn't look right. Bing, ripping back.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, stay tuned. I will let you know what I do next time.
Yeah. That's a really good staple color as well. You'll get a lot of wear out of that.
I know. So that's why. Anyway, there was another color. I wanted navy blue. I knew that was the color that I wanted. There's another sadness garn. It's not Sisu. It's the other one. What is
it? The Sunday?
Yes. Yes, it's the Sunday. And there is a navy blue on there, but it's really, really dark, and it's really close to black. So I already had the black t-shirt. Yeah. So I was like this. So I'm definitely going to be wearing this. The color is numbers. Again, it's already on my project page. I think this is what it is. Yeah. So it's 6082 is the color. I'm super excited for this, and this is one of the t-shirts that I want to do. Yeah. And that's pretty much it that I can talk about, because I haven't. That's all I have to show. But we can go into the dream knitting. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. What is your next project? So I have got this lovely Yarn Indulgences MCS Merino Cashmere Silk that Deborah gifted me for Christmas. It's called Nancy's Wine. Oh, it's beautiful. So I am going to knit, I'll put a picture, Sophie will put a picture up here. I'll send you the link. It's called Saoirse, I think, by Truly Myrtle, Libby Jonson. It is A-line shape already. Woohoo. Oh. It's got a beautiful round neckline, and it's got lace panel down the sleeves. Ooh, yeah. It's got a 3/4 sleeve, which I will probably do to 3/4 sleeve because it's a good transition. Yep. Garment. Yes, and I like to have that too. So it's not going to be a tee technically, but I have tees planned as well. But this, I've got four skeins of this. Oh, I see. So I need to wind this up and swatch. That's kind of on my radar for today, to get this swatched and see what I'm going to have to do for that. And I'd like to cast this on soon, even though Laia is nowhere near finished. I'd still, again, where I'm probably not going to wear it till the fall. I don't want to put it in hibernation, but it may just happen to slide that way. Yeah, whatever your heart's desire, really. So this is a plump fingering as well. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's so soft. So yeah, I'm really, again, whenever I can find an A-line shape garment, and without having to do all the math and figure it out myself, that's always a bonus. So it's a bit of a swingy kind of, like I said, it's got that kind of shape to it with the pretty lacy sleeves. So that's on my radar. There's cashmere in there. Yeah, it's the merino cashmere silk. I think it's the same base that you used in your yoke. Oh yes, that's right. Because Leo and Roxy. Yeah. And then I think it's the same base. It's lovely. Yeah. Absolutely lovely. Yeah, it really is. And then I have a sweater quantity of some linen I was looking for, the Sadness Garn Tif Neilan to linen blend by Sadness, in a really pretty smoky purple that I got from La Violette, and I can't find it. No, you can't. I can't. I was standing on my head looking in all, trying to figure out on all my cubbies and trying to figure it out. It's here somewhere. It's somewhere. It's here somewhere. All of this beautiful. There's so much yarn in here. It's yarn fumes. It's amazing we're not. Woohoo! Maybe we are. So that's going to be maybe a saltwater tee. Okay. It might be another Ziva that I did last year, with the big triangle lace panel down one side, because that gives me the A-line as well. And I really liked the fit of that, so I may do that one. But the saltwater tee would be kind of fun. Yep. So that's 2, and then I have this linen. I swatched with it last year. If you watched my podcast last summer, it's this really pretty minty green. But it is very thin. It's a lace weight. So I'm going to have to hold 2 strands together. And I tried swatching with it last year, and I didn't enjoy even swatching with it. Which
doesn't bode well. I have 3 skeins of this. It's from Small Bird in British Columbia, and it's 50% linen, 30% cotton, 20% bamboo, 660 meters and 100 grams.
Okay.
I've got 3 skeins of it, so I was going to hold it double, which gives me 660, 1320, like almost just under 2,000 meters. So if I hold it double, that's still 1,000 meters. I would still have plenty to do a t-shirt.
Do a t-shirt, yes, absolutely.
But this is as far as my swatch went. Oh,
I know everyone is knitting with linen, and they just rave about it, and I don't know if I could. I know it softens up after, but it's the knitting.
Yeah, I love knitting with it. It's not the way it feels, it's holding the 2 strands that is, I need to give it another try. I think I need to change needle size. I think that might be part of the issue on my swatch. But I really want to do something with this because this
lovely.
I love the color, and I have enough to do something gorgeous with it. So I'm just gonna have to suck it up and try again.
You have to use it because it's gorgeous.
So this is also my radar for this summer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I have so many. That I want to do too.
Yeah.
I have my notes somewhere. What was the other one? I have the Salty Air.
Yeah, we were talking about Salty Air before we started.
So I would like that. I haven't purchased it yet.
Put a picture up in there.
But yes, it's super good.
By Samantha Guerin.
Yes. And Heather.
Yes.
Heather from
the Wheelhouse
Knits. She has a podcast. I will link her down below. She has a lovely podcast. Please go and check her out. Heather made one.
Yes, she did.
She shared it on her podcast, and it was gorgeous.
Yeah,
and
that's why it crept it back onto my radar.
Yeah.
I'd seen it when it launched, and I thought, oh yeah, it's nice. And I saw Heather's and went, yes.
So Heather, yes.
Yes.
That sweater is yes for you. That t-shirt. The other one that I actually have this in my library too, and it's by Julian Knitter again, and it's called a Tranquilo t-shirt. I'll have it here. I have that. That's color work. Well, there's 2 colors. So yeah, it's color work.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've done color work in a t-shirt. So anyways, that's maybe. We'll see. And I also have in my library the Onward UP tee. And that was, oh my goodness, what is her name? I'll put the designer's name here. Rochelle test knitted it.
Oh, was it Tif Neilan?
Yes.
Oh, whoo!
Good job, Nancy.
I know Rochelle tests for Tif quite a lot,
yes.
So that was a total stab in the dark.
Yeah, and she made it last year, and as soon as it came out, I bought it because hers was gorgeous.
Yes.
And so I have that in my library too, and a gazillion in my favorites.
I know.
There's so many beautiful designs, and I just want to make them all.
Do you have yarn for any of those yet, or is it going to be shopping? Do you have thoughts on yarn?
I did. I have a lot of thoughts when I'm at work. Because when I'm at work, all I think about is knitting. And I'm like, and I was thinking about this on Friday, and I don't remember anything now. I really don't. Do I have? No, I don't know. I don't
want to put you on the spot. I was just curious if you had something.
No, but
some thoughts.
I know I had thoughts, but I can't think of them right now. But yeah. Oh yes, it's coming back. Sorry, my brain is slow. I just purchased some yarn from Sassy Strings. I will have her link down below. Yeah. Oh, she has gorgeous colors. Yeah. And she shared her sock sets, and I'm like, oh, those are pretty. And then I went on her site, and it's more of a grayish navy blue, like it's a navy blue, but it's way lighter. Okay. And it's on the gray side. Anyways, I was like, that would be a great t-shirt. And her yardage on her fingering weight is like 460 something. So it is a smaller gauge for fingering, but
perfect
fingering.
Perfect for a summer tea.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah. So
can you get away with two skeins?
I'm pretty sure I can.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
because that would be it would be like 900.
Yeah,
and I think I can.
Yeah.
Because
just
I'm
over
not
900.
making So all of the t-shirts are like usually like 800 to 9. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, you can always kind of park your body, get your sleeves to where you want them, and then the yarn goes as far as it goes for the body.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure I'm good.
Yeah.
Because I always overbuy, which is good. I never run out, but then you have extra yarn, which is great. But then anyway, so I bought 2 skeins of that just recently, and
nice.
Friday. I think I did it Friday. And so I will have that. I'll show that off next time.
Perfect.
What else did I? Wow, I was thinking about something too. Anyway, yeah. What else? Oh, this is not a summer garment. It's my reed sweater, and I swatched with the BioGarn yarn that I have.
Yeah.
And the colors, it's a colorwork sweater. I'll put it here. And the yarn is lovely. It's half cotton. It's a mixture of cotton and something else, a merino, I think. Yeah. And it's very light and airy. And it's a sweater, but I'm going to have it 3/4 length sleeve. So it'll be a good transition.
I was going to say with the cotton, right? It'll be a good...
Yeah, I'll be able to wear it spring and fall for sure.
Yeah.
The yarn colors that I bought, there's not enough contrast. And Mano totally told me this. I bought it at I bought it at La Violette, and when I picked the colors, she's like, Sophie, are you sure? And I'm like, yes, I'll make it work. And then I swatched, and I'm like, I can't even see the difference.
Oh, bugger.
And I did you take a picture and like the black and white to see if there's contrast enough, and it looks like the same gray. Yeah. Anyway, so I went on the Ravolution website. She is a yarn dyer. Her name is Melanie, and I don't know why. Oh, she has stitch markers. She had a little camper stitch marker, and I'm like, I need this.
Targeted.
So yeah, I know. So that's why I went on her site, and then I saw she had 50% cotton and merino, I think, as well. And it's the perfect purple mauve, lighter than what I bought, because what I bought, it was just too dark.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. So I'm waiting for that too. So I'm going to swatch with that. So there's so much knitting that is coming.
And happy mail coming too.
Yes.
Yay.
Happy for me. Happy. It's my money. It's my husband, whatever.
Well, it's like we're homebodies. We don't go out.
Yeah. He buys all the tools. So I buy all the yarn.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a very good compromise.
Agreed. And it's mental health. Sanity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Makes me happy. Anyway,
sure.
Yeah, I think that's it for my knitting talk. I am so happy you thought of this.
We're gonna do some more questions though, eh?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's the end of the knitting.
Okay, we're not done.
Not quite. I printed off, I was on the interwebs and found some fun questions. I was saying on my episode that Sophie and I have known each other for almost a year, either online and then going to knit nights, but other than the fact that we're crazy knitters and we like to be at home and her kids play hockey, I don't know too much about Sophie, so we're kind of asking each other some fun questions to learn some more things.
Yeah.
And we're quite similar.
Yes.
From in more ways than we expected.
That today. So Nancy, we shared some questions on her podcast, and so see if you want to see those questions and answers, please go check out Nancy's podcast. And you go first.
What does everyone else seem to like that you can't stand?
Oh my goodness.
This one is so easy for me.
Really?
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Coffee and tea.
Oh, okay.
I don't drink coffee or tea. The only hot beverage I will drink sporadically is hot chocolate. I drink water and I drink wine. I don't drink pop. I don't drink juice. But coffee and tea makes me a bit of a freak in this world. You know, there's all kinds of coffee collections, and, you know, I get tea bags in my yarn, which is lovely. They just go in my kitchen cabinet, and when my daughter comes to visit, she drinks the tea. So that's an easy one for me. So
it's funny but I drink coffee, but I don't enjoy it. Like I don't. Well, I don't enjoy it. I do, but like I drink coffee. It has to be like the name. I've shared this before. I drink. It's coconut caramel chocolate cookie crunch.
I told Sophie when she was coming over this morning to record, I said, you're going to want to bring your own coffee. My husband does dark roast.
Yeah. No. I need for my coffee not to taste like coffee. That's how I like my coffee. So, and it irks me because everybody's like, oh, it's coffee and whatever, and espresso, espresso. I always called it espresso. It's not espresso. Espresso.
Everybody knows what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's coffee. What else?
So is it just the caffeine that you need?
I think so. I started drinking coffee at work. Okay. So it was and it takes me an hour to drink my coffee. I have to reheat it like numerous times. And it's just to keep busy. Okay. I think that's why I started, and now like I have 1 or 2 a day, so like I can't stop because then I'll have a headache or something, and I don't want that. Yeah. I don't want to talk about headaches, but yeah. There's coffee, and there's like everybody likes beer, and I don't like beer.
I'm not a beer drinker. No, don't like beer.
I don't like. I'll have one. I had the cavaquet when at the knit night. I have like the fruitiest beer,
and I get wine.
And I'm okay with wine. I'm not a big drinker either. So just because again, just because I have the migraines and I don't want to self-induce one because I have enough as it is. Yeah. And that's one thing that I hate that everybody else can do when I can't do. So maybe that. Because I do miss the being happy. Just like a glass of wine. Yeah. I'm so happy. Yeah, just a little. Everything is fine. Everybody's great. Pretty. Yeah, that's how I get. But as soon as I'm done that and I stop, the headache comes on. So anyway, whatever. That's my answer to that question. Yeah. What is the best gift you have ever received?
That's a hard one, isn't it?
It is. I don't even know what I would say.
And Sophie didn't realize when she asked me questions, she's going to have to come up with them as well.
Yes.
So I guess beyond, more esoteric things, actual physical things, it's the rings that I wear on my hand. So this one here is my engagement ring, my wedding band for my husband from the Middle East. This is my English granny's engagement ring. Aww. And this is her wedding band. Oh. So this one I was given when she passed away, and this one I was given recently. My mom got it when her mom passed away, but her fingers are getting very arthritic and she can't she's worried about getting it stuck on and having to come off. So I just recently got this just plain gold band, but this one had a fun story behind it. I took it to a local jeweler. There used to be a jeweler at Highfield Square. He was Eastern European. I can't remember what his name was.
No, I don't know.
Super knowledgeable, great guy. I was missing one of the stones. There's teeny tiny little, what I thought were diamond chips in there. So my granny was World War II, a World War II bride, married a Canadian in England. And she, this ring was obviously bought in the UK in the 40s during the war. So when I took the ring to the jeweler, I said to him, I'd like the diamond, this diamond replaced. Oh my dear, he says, those are glass chips. Okay. This is from, he said, 1940s. He says, Europe. He says, was it England? And I said, yes. He looks at the inside of the ring and he can tell.
How can he know that?
I don't know if there was a stamp or something in there, but I had told him nothing. Possibly. But he knew this ring was from England in the 40s, and there was glass chips, not diamonds, because there were no diamonds to be had in the 40s at the budget my grandfather would have had, I would assume. Anyway, so those are, reminders of my past and my family heritage, and so that's probably.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay, I don't have an awesome story like that. That's amazing. The other, I think, 2 things that I can really think of right now. My weighted blanket. It's amazing. I love sleep. I love sleep so much. I'm a big sleeper. My husband got that for me like a couple of years ago, and like we go to tournaments.
Yes.
I bring my blanket with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. I love it so much. There's that thing, and my yarn swift. I use the crap out of that too, so I really enjoy. But those are not. I'm sure if I can think of like really sentimental or things, but really my blanket is really sentimental. It's a very important part of my
it's
my
part
life.
of your daily life.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Absolutely.
So that's that one. Another one. Maybe?
Where are you in your family birth order?
I'm the baby.
Are you? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm the oldest.
Okay.
Yeah. Of two, my brothers are younger than me, so I am the stereotypical
by a lot
bossy older sister. A year and a half for one, and 4 years for the other.
That's
So not too much, but
okay.
I'm the bossy boots.
Okay.
I was as soon as my parents left the room, I was in charge.
You do it so well. That's good. I am the baby of the family, and I have an older sister that I love very much. Hi, Debbie. We have 8 years apart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it just the two of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All girls.
Yeah, 2 girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there's that one. Maybe I can ask another one.
Just do one more. Maybe look at the time, and it's like.
I know it's getting long.
Yeah.
Mine are always long. How often do you remember your dreams?
Not very.
Really?
No, I've never been one. If I remember a dream, it's rare.
Okay.
And it usually means I was awake at some point and I've gone back to sleep.
Yes.
In the old days, before menopause, I used to sleep 8 hours straight through. I would fall asleep at 11 o'clock. I would wake up at 7 or 7:30, and I wouldn't wake up in between.
Right.
Now I'm awake. So I would say I probably remember them a bit more now, but still not as well. You remember them? Are you vivid?
Yes.
Okay. Isn't it? It's so interesting, isn't it, the way our brains work?
I know, and a little bit less now because I am sleeping much deeper because I have medications
and a weighted blanket.
And a weighted blanket for prevention of migraines. So they make me a little bit sleepy at night. So I sleep like a log. Even I snore. I guess not a lot, but I guess I've started to snore, and that means I am sleeping good. Yeah. So my husband snores too, so I'm like, I've been dealing with your snoring for 20 years. I'm like, whatever. I don't feel bad at all.
Not at all.
No. So yeah.
Yeah. So you used to remember your dreams a lot more than you do now.
I remember. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I used to be a super light sleeper. I sleep with earplugs, and so when I had the kids, I still had one earplug in. I could hear them crying as soon as they the little I could hear it, and it would wake me up like that. That's how light I was. So I would remember my dreams all the time. I dream about natural disasters all the time. Tornadoes, tsunamis, being shot at. I know, like you, and all I watch is Hallmark movies. Like, I don't understand. And every time my husband, I'm like, every time I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I need to tell you what I dreamt. And he's like, oh my God, what is it this time? Like, there's always a tornado coming, and I'm the one that I'm like, everyone get into like the door frame,
the door frame,
or go downstairs. Nobody listens to me, and
you're the mom. Of course, nobody listens to you.
No, but that's always what I dream. Well, a lot of the time.
Yeah,
and that I miss the bus and I lose my teeth. Yeah, so. So yeah, I'm sleeping a lot better now.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's got to be good for your mental health to not be waking up thinking about that as well.
I would think so. But anyway, yeah. So those are the questions. That was really fun, Nancy.
It was.
That was really fun. Okay. So if you're still here, oh my God, this is long. I'm so sorry. Thank you for staying. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Please go check Nancy out on her podcast,
because there's more of these shenanigans happening over there for this episode.
Yes. And thank you, Nancy, for inviting me over.
Pleasure.
It was so much fun. We'll have to do it again.
We will.
Yes,
we'll have to see what the next twinning sweater is going to be. We decided.
Yes. The sculpt.
Yes. Unwind Knitwear. We both have the sculpt in our library. So that'll be our next twin knit along podcast episode.
Probably in the fall.
Oh yeah.
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 So that'll be fun.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So again, have a lovely couple of weeks. I'm already excited to come back next time and talk more about knitting. If you like this episode and would like to subscribe, that is great. If you want to put the like button, that's great. If you don't want to, that's okay too. Yeah. I only do this for fun, and not sponsored, just whatever. So yeah, that's about it. Stay healthy, stay active, gotta get moving, because we sit a lot and knit, so we gotta move. I am learning this. And be kind and be cozy, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks everybody.
Cheers. Thank you. Bye.